This video will explain these chapters in the Matrix timeline, so tap the timestamps in the description box to skip ahead. The Matrix universe is divided into those in the know and those out the know. As Morpheus says, you've been living in a dream world. You're not wrong, Morpheus, and in fact, Morpheus is one of the casualties in this war of truth between human and machine. Not because of his death, but because everything he believes is wrong. The prophecy is a lie. Find out what the hell I mean by joining me as we explore the levels of truth within the Matrix universe. The first level of truth, Matrix. Everyone is happy. The year is 1999, it's just before the birth of artificial intelligence. We know is not true. It's a complete simulation created by the machines in order to enslave the human race. So who believes this? There's Neo's boss, Mr. Reinhardt, annoyed that his employee is turning up late. Chang, Neo's friend who invites him to that weird BDSM club. There's the old woman who greets Ju in Final Flight of the Osiris. So when in the movie timeline is this? It's right at the start. That's the first thing we see, really. It's this fake world. The second level of truth is that everything feels like a bit of a dream world. Something is wrong. You're not sure if you're awake or still dreaming, as Neo says. This is when we join Neo in his journey. So who believes this? There's Yoko in Beyond. That's the Animatrix story where we see a young girl trying to find her cat, and she encounters a haunted house, which is basically lots of Matrix glitches all in one place. So she sees all these glitches and gets to realise, there's something wrong in this world. Maybe I'm living in a dream world. There's Tiara in A Life Less Empty. This is a really fascinating story in the Matrix comics. It's about this woman who took the blue pill. So we see her refusing Morpheus's offer of the red pill. She took the blue pill, but she carries on living her life stuck in this dream world, a splinter in her mind, as Morpheus says. And there's Dez in Sweating the Small Stuff. This is another Matrix comic storyline. He explicitly says that he thinks there's something wrong with the world, and occasionally we see his view where he looks at something like a spider web and it turns into the green Matrix code. When in the timeline is this? Well, in the movies, this is maybe the first bits we're seeing with Neo when he goes to the party, talks to Trinity, and he realises that, yeah, there's something wrong. But of course, as soon as he takes that red pill and gets zapped into the phone line and out of his pod, he wakes up to the real world, the third level of truth. The third level of truth is what Morpheus believes. Zion is the last place for humans in the entire planet. They lost the war against the machines that they started themselves, supposedly, and now they are enslaved by robots on the surface. In this level of truth, the year is 2199, as Morpheus says, and humans have been locked into the Matrix for about 100 years. Morpheus believes in this thing called the prophecy, which is something that the Oracle started in order to get the next one awoken from the Matrix. This is basically the story that the Second Renaissance sets up for us. The Second Renaissance is an incredible animatrix story, which is an animated tale that basically explains how the human versus machine war started and how humans became enslaved. Tap in the corner right now to see my explanation of the entire animatrix timeline and how it fits into the Matrix timeline. Who believes this? Well, the main one is Morpheus, of course. Morpheus explains this entire process to Neo. He talks about the prophecy, he says how Neo was the one, came to end the war and all this stuff. There's the Spoon Kid. Potentials is the name of all the kids, the young people, the young humans who wake up and start to realise that something's wrong. Remember how Morpheus says normally they don't free a mind when it gets to a certain age? That's because normally potentials are so young. They're just like Spoon Kid. So Spoon Kid is aware that humans are trapped inside their pods. Interestingly, a very solid storyline within this third level is A Sword of a Different Colour. That's one of the Matrix comics again, and it's about a human who lives on the surface. Now he only believes what's around him, that's it. He's managed to kidnap a sentinel with a spear or something, but really, his entire life is the surface. Neo believes this about halfway through the first film. He learns that humans are defeated and stuck in their pods. But of course, as we learn at the end of The Matrix Reloaded, this is a complete lie, and we're about to enter the fourth level of truth within the Matrix universe. The fourth level of truth is that the One is a complete control system. This is the huge moment of The Matrix Reloaded. It's the conversation with the architect at the end. Neo meets the architect, which is the program who basically created the entire Matrix, and the architect reveals that no, this is not 100 years in the future. In fact, it's closer to something like 600 years in the future. In this level of truth, we learn that Neo is just the 6th one. There were 5 previous ones before him. We also learn that Neo is on a predetermined path. His entire life of denying authority and rebelling against the machines is a complete control system. Neo was following this path all along, he just didn't realise it. In this 4th level of truth as well, the One always sacrifices his lover for the human race. This is the big choice that the architect offers Neo at the end of The Matrix Reloaded. He says, take door number 1 or door number 2. Door number 1 saves the human race, but Trinity will die. Door number 2 saves Trinity, but the human race will be extinct. Every single time that the Matrix has been reloaded in the past, all 5 previous ones chose the human race and let their lover die. So who believes this? Of course, there's the architect. He's the one who explained this entire thing to Neo. Every machine and every program really would be aware of this, especially people like the Oracle or the Merovingian. They are fully aware that the One is just designed by the machines as another form of control. Neo learns this, of course, at the end of The Matrix Reloaded. However, at the end of The Matrix Revolutions, we get a massive revelation. The 5th level of truth within the Matrix universe is the Oracle's secret plan. In this level of truth, we learn that what's actually happening is not that Neo is simply on another path just like his previous ones. Oh no. We learn that the Oracle planted an extra level of rebellion in him just for this cycle. Which means that unlike his previous ones, he didn't choose to save the human race. He chose to save Trinity. Now you might think that this is Neo just being extra romantic. No, this is because the Oracle deliberately forced Neo to do this. And we see this because at the end of The Matrix Revolutions, the architect walks up to the Oracle and says, "You play a very dangerous game." And then she says, "Change always is." Those 2 lines of dialogue reveal that the Oracle had a secret plan all along. The architect wasn't aware, no one was aware in the entire world apart from the Oracle. She was the one who broke the cycle, not Neo. Yes, Neo was instrumental, but really, it was the Oracle's idea. This is the level of truth that allows Neo to destroy the Sentinels, and if you want to find out more about that, then please click in the top right corner right now, because I explained that entire process. It's the level of truth that brings about the human-machine truce, where they stop fighting, and this allows the entire game of The Matrix Online to happen. And again, please click in the top right corner to see how the Matrix story continued after The Matrix Revolutions. It's amazing. It's the level of truth that allow humans to now choose to wake up if they want. And you'd ask, why did the Oracle do this? It's because she gradually started to learn empathy. This is one of the central themes of the entire Matrix story. It's machines learning to be more human through emotion. We see it with Ramachandra, we see it with Agent Smith, and now we've seen it with the Oracle. She became empathetic to the humans, she became empathetic to the machines, and she basically said, let's give everyone the choice. That is the 5th level of truth, and the real, true level of truth within the Matrix universe. Thank you for watching there, everybody. If it was a help to you and you really liked learning about the Matrix lore, then please subscribe to Jam Punch and I'll be releasing a brand new Matrix Explained video every single week. My name is George, this is Jam Punch, and I'll see you next time.